in our town. If you live it up, you won't live it down. So she left Monte Rio, son, just like a bullet leaves a gun. With a charcoal eyes and Monroe hips, she went and took that California trip. Oh, the moon was gold and her hair like wind. Said, don't look back, just come on, Jim. Oh, you got to hold on, hold on. You got to hold on, take my hand, standing right here, you got to hold on. Well, he gave her a dime store watch and a ring made from a spoon. Everyone's looking for someone to blame. And you share my bed, you share my name. Well, go ahead and call the cops. You don't meet nice girls in coffee shops. She said, baby, I still love you. Sometimes there's nothing left to do. Oh, but you got to hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on and take my hand. Standing right here, you gotta hold on. Down by the Riverside Motel, it's 10 below and falling. And by a 99-cent store, she closed her eyes and started swaying. But it's so hard to dance that way when it's cold and there's no music. Oh, your old hometown so far away, but inside your head there's a record that's playing a song called Hold On, Hold On. Baby, gotta hold on to take my hand, standing right there, gotta hold on. You gotta hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on, taking my hand, standing right there, you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on. Baby, gotta hold on and take my hand, standing right here, you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on. Baby, gotta hold on and take my hand, standing right here, you gotta hold on. 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 You gotta hold on, baby. You gotta
Tom, Mule Variations, it's your first new full-length record since 1993, and listening to it, the songs, they seem like an introduction to all the various styles that you've worked in over the years. Is it sort of like coming full circle?
Yeah, I hope not, Jody. I get the image of somebody with their one foot nailed to the floor when I think about coming full circle. If I was coming full circle, I guess I'd move back to the town I grew up in, you know. At the same time, I guess I am circling on in some way. Maybe I'm circling. I'm looking for a place to land. Ever since Swordfishtrombones, I've tried to explore diverse musical styles and that type of thing. I touched on a few of them here on this record. Some blues and a lot of different kinds of things. So I think there's a lot of variety.
Well, let's take the title, Mule Variations. Mule has so many connotations. To me, when I think of mules, I think about work. So does that mean that these 16 songs on the album are 16 variations of your work?
Gee, I never looked at it like that. My wife said I didn't marry a man, I married a mule. That's what she said. It's like the Goldberg variations. These are the Mule Variations. People don't write as much about animals as they should. Perhaps they will now in the future. I don't know. It's one of those titles that stuck. At first, I thought that's what I don't know what that is. I don't know what people are going to think Mule Variations are. But we hung on to it. We'd done the song Mule, Get Behind the Mule. We'd done it several times. We did it. We did a Chinese version, and we did a cha-cha version, and a raga version, and all these different, and a cappella, and so at one point somebody mentioned that we had all these different variations on the same song. We made these Mule Variations. So we started referring to the record as Mule Variations, but in kind of a humorous way, and then it stuck.
The last album, I think, was Bone Machine, the last album of new studio stuff. Have you been writing the whole time in between Bone Machine and Mule Variations?
Well, no, I haven't been. I have things here and there that I accumulate, but for the most part, I've been writing the whole time. Or I'd have too many songs. I wouldn't know what to do with those songs. Yeah, we had 25, and then you put 16 on the record, and the rest of them wind up in the orphanage. That's kind of how it works. And then, you use them on something else. Or you cut them up and use them for parts. It's kind of like being in the salvage business when you're a songwriter. You pay attention to things, and particularly things that other people don't seem to need or aren't using or threw away in a conversation and didn't pay any attention to it. You hang on to it and use it later. That happens all the time.
You have a partnership with your wife, Kathleen Brennan, which I know is multifaceted, but I was wondering about your partnership with Kathleen as far as the songwriting goes.
Well, we've been writing and working together, collaborating together since Swordfishtrombones, and she's great to work with. It's one of those things where it's you wash, I'll dry. She's done a lot of things. She's an excellent pianist. She was a night clerk at a big resort hotel in Florida, and then she was a elevator operator at the Taft Hotel, and then she was played organ on a cruise ship for a while, and she's an opera buff and a bug collector, and she's done a lot of things, and she has dreams like Hieronymus Bosch. So she writes more from her dreams. I write more from the world or from the newspaper or something like that, and somehow it all works together. She's great. So it works.
Do any of the songs that you've co-written with Kathleen, do they come from her presenting an idea and then you fleshing it out, or is it usually the other way around?
Oh, it's a little bit of both. It's free for all. All the songs develop in a different way. Some of them, songs happen and finished in 5 minutes. Others, work on them over and over again and change them and develop them and let them evolve. Every song is different. I usually sit down and write a collection of songs. You say, okay, for the next, it's like fishing, just go out there and wait sometimes. That's what David Lynch said. He said you got to have a very comfortable chair and you have to be very quiet if you want to catch the big ones.
On the Mule Variations, there's a lot of spirituality, there's a lot of animals, but one thing I've noticed is an obsession with Asian things. Not only on this record, but going back to a song like Singapore, but on the new album we've got Filipino box spring hog and a mention of Saigon and a mention of Indonesia. And Mule Variations opens with Big in Japan. Is it the Japanese who have an obsession with you?
Gee, I don't know. I hadn't really thought of it that way or in that context. Don't know. It's one of those, it's a motif, I guess. But had it not been pointed out to me, I never would have thought about it. Sometimes you just reach for something when you're working on a song. And you might, that's why I like to have maps up on the wall when we're recording, because it always feels like we're off on an adventure, and I like to refer to the maps.
Well, are you big in Japan?
Well, I hope to be big in Japan, and after this, I don't know if I'm big in Japan. I've been over there several times, but I haven't been there many years. So, there are people that are just big in Japan, which is this is a song about that. You can't work anywhere else but Japan, and so it's just a goof.
Jam.
Big in Japan opens your new album, Mule Variations, and there's some strange sounds the minute you put the CD in. Is that a sample of your own vocal percussion, or what's happening there?
It's just a contest I had with myself in a hotel room. I wanted to see if I could sound like a band all by myself, but without any instruments. So I started banging on the chest of drawers and the wall and headboard, just trying to get that sound, like that full band sound, and so that's what I wound up with, and hung on to it, looped it and sampled it, or sampled it and looped it, or whatever they call it.
That heavy rhythmic sound that's on Big in Japan started turning up on your records around Swordfishtrombones. Between 1980, when Heart Attack and Vine came out, and then 3 years later there was Swordfishtrombones, there was a big shift in the work of Tom Waits. What happened back then?
It was a James Brown disorder. There's no hope, but with research, they say that they might find a cure. I don't know. I guess just trying to do things. Up until that point, I was doing more. I guess there was more of an abundance of ballads on the records, and then I started banging on things and playing the drums myself, and just trying to do things that sounded more angry. And actually, I don't do enough of it. I'd like to do more of it. I'd like to do a record that was just that. Maybe the next one.
That was around the time that you moved from one label to another. I think that's around the time you met Kathleen, and also around the time when you were doing some of your first movie work, right? There was a lot going on back there. I was with a manager for a long time and broke off with my manager, and was kind of out on my own, and Kathleen and I kind of had a little mom and pop business, and which was my career, and I don't know, tried to write songs in different ways, be less precious about it, and more spontaneous. And I used to sit at the piano more like Tim Panelli style, and I would just wait for a song. I always, fantasized about what it must have been like to work in a Brill building and write songs in that fashion. And then I realized I was missing something, and so I started paying more attention to how kids write songs. Kids write songs really fast, and they write them about anything, and then they're gone. And so I tried to approach it more from that angle. So you always looking for things, non-musical instruments that you can make noise with?
Well, sure, but I think everybody does that in the studio. That's just in the natural course of recording. Inevitably, someone will look around the room and find something that when they hit it, it sounds better than their cymbal or better than their bass drum. You might use the dumpster in the alley, get a bigger sound than your bass drum. So you go ahead and do it. You put a mic in it and you use it. That's just kind of part of the whole evolution and forward development and movement of recording itself, from being curious and inquisitive and blasphemous or investigative. And that's just part of recording.
Where did you record Mule Variations?
Right down the hill from here, in a small studio called Prairie Sun. Yeah, I've worked there before. I've done 3 records there now. So just a small room, not really a recording studio. The room itself is not a recording studio. It's just just a concrete room. But they run these lines down from the board, and that's where we work. So.
And we're here in Northern California. On Chocolate Jesus on the record, there's a rooster crowing. Where did that come from? Because the rooster's crowing on cue.
Well, hey, roosters will never crow when you're crowing. They wait till there's some clean air. They wait till you're done, and then they get the the best spot, which I've found about recording outside. Most people are afraid to record outside because they're going to have too many collisions with the natural world. But I found if you do go outside, everything collaborates with you, including airplanes and movies. They make movies outside. You have to wait sometimes for a train to pass or school to let out or whatever. Dogs, kids, trains, cars, planes, and chickens will kind of find their own place if you do go outside. So.
Was there a point for you when you realized that the sonic atmosphere of your song was almost as important as the lyrics? I'm thinking about Pony on the new album. It's a sad, desolate song, and it has a sad, desolate sound.
I guess that particular one, we wanted to have it bare and by itself, like those Lomax recordings, those Library of Congress recordings that I love so much. And you try to find the right sound for the record. That's the whole challenge of recording, is to find the appropriate environment and atmosphere for the song, what suits it. And that's kind of what you spend most of your time doing. Well, where should we record this? How should we record this? It worked. On that one, it worked.
I've seen it all, boys. I've been all over. Been everywhere in the whole wide world. I rode the High Line with old blind Darby. I danced real slow without a chain. I was full of wonder when I left Murfreesboro. Now I'm full of hollow on Maxwell Street. I hope my pony, I hope my pony, I hope my pony knows the way back home. I walked from Natchez to Hushpakina. I built a fire by the side of the road. And I worked for nothing in a Belzoni sawmill. And I caught a blind out on the B&O. Tallulah's friendly, Belzoni ain't so. A 44 will get you 99. I hope my pony, I hope my pony, I hope my pony knows the way back home. My race with burnt-faced Jake. I gave him a man's knee to cross. I've lived on nothing but dreams and trains,
Now my watch and chain got lost. I wish I was home in Evelyn's kitchen with old Jip curled around my feet. Oh, my pony, oh, my pony, oh, my pony knows the way back home. Oh, my pony, oh, my pony, oh, my pony knows the way back home.
The song Pony has a lot of characters, these names, Burn-Faced Jake, Blind Darby, I think you're in Evelyn's kitchen. Are these real people that live in these songs?
Evelyn's kitchen, that's my Aunt Evelyn who passed away during the making of the record. And her and my Uncle Chalmer had 10 kids and lived in a place called Gridley. And I guess I've been far away from home. I've thought about her kitchen and a lot, and then a lot of people feel the same way when they've been far away from home. Dreamed about getting back home to her kitchen, and so that's why we put her in there, and a tribute to Evelyn. The other people are just different people I've come across over the years and known, heard about, read about.
Every one of your songs, you give its own musical setting. It reflects the lyrics, it brings it to light. Do you cast the musicians in your songs like they're actors in a play, or do you feel like on this album you have a band working?
Oh, it took it more song by song. It started out with a group, and then kind of stripped things away and add things, and it's more elimination, and we started out with a certain group, but it did change.
There's definitely continuity with Mule Variations because you're working with a lot of people you worked with in the past, but there's something that's very different because Mule Variations is being released on Epitaph Records, and your entire career you worked with big labels like Elektra and Island. Why did you choose to work with Epitaph this time?
Well, they put together a very impressive proposal. I was in between labels. They're young and hungry and do an excellent job. We just did one record with them. We'll probably do more. And it's owned and operated by musicians, and just been a real good place for us right now. If I wanted to do a record of just cha-chas and play only in Buenos Aires, a place that held 3 people, they'd say, cool, we like it. I can get behind that. They like unusual challenges, and they, a lot of the larger labels, you find yourself falling between the cracks sometimes if what you're doing is not, doesn't have a wide, broad appeal. And so they're kind of eccentric like me, I guess, and that's what I like about it.
Speaking of eccentric, there's a song on Mule Variations. It's a spoken word piece, a little reminiscent of the work of Ken Nordine, called What's He Building? Do your neighbors look at you with this sort of bewildered curiosity?
Gee, I hope not. I don't know. It's kind of tipping my hat to Ken Nordine. It was a big influence on me, and I've listened to since I started recording, really. And Ken lives in Chicago. Is a peculiar imagination and tells remarkable stories. This was started out as a song, and I wasn't able to get it to fly as a song, and and so I just took the words and started talking them, and it all just kind of came together. So it's just what we all do to each other, I guess, as neighbors. If you live in an apartment building or on a block, wherever you are, we all know 2 or 3 things about the people we live around, and we put them together and create a story. You know, he said he was from Tampa, but yet he's got Indiana plates, and gee, what is that about? You know, he wears all his clothes inside out. He walks backwards. You know, he shaved his head only on one side, and so we all do that, I guess. And just wondering about those things. It's just a song that happened pretty fast, and then the music in the background was spontaneous as well. We just set up a room with a lot of percussion, and everyone just kind of moved around, banging on things while I talked. What's he building in there? What the hell is he building in there? He has subscriptions to those magazines. He never waves when he goes by. He's hiding something from the rest of us. He's all to himself. I think I know why. He took down the tire swing from the pepper tree. He has no children of his own, you see. He has no dog. He has no friends. And his lawn is dying. And what about all those packages he sends? What's he building in there? With that hook light on the stairs. What's he building in there? I'll tell you one thing, he's not building a playhouse for the children. What's he building in there? And what's that sound from underneath the door? He's pounding nails into a hardwood floor, and I swear to God I heard someone moaning low. And I keep seeing the blue light of a TV show. He has a router and a table saw. And you won't believe what Mr. Stitches saw. There's poison underneath the sink, of course. But there's also enough formaldehyde to choke a horse. What's he building in there? What the hell is he building in there? I heard he has an ex-wife in some place called Mayor's Income, Tennessee. And he used to have a consulting business in Indonesia. But what's he building in there? He has no friends, but he gets a lot of mail. I'll bet he spent a little time in jail. I heard he was up on the roof last night signaling with a flashlight. And what's that tune he's always whistling? What's he building in there? What's he building in there? We have a right to know.
So, Tom, what is he building in there?
He's a tweaker. I don't know. My theory is that he's talking about himself. But, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just one of those strange little short story.
What's he building is like a short film. And Of course, it's no secret that you've done a lot of film work over the years, in movies like Down by Law, Shortcuts, Rumblefish, Bram Stoker's Dracula. When you're doing this film work, does that free up your writing, your musical writing, in terms of being able to explore other characters besides yourself?
Well, I do some acting, but to say that I'm an actor is perhaps a little ambitious. I do some acting, and I'm working at it. Usually I end up doing a very small part in a large film, or I'm offered a large part in a very small film that no one will ever see. So, film work there's a lot of dead air. You have to bring a book. You have to bring a library. It's a lot of waiting around. With movies, I say the acting's free. You charge them for the waiting. But I enjoy them. I do one, every now and then, and I get a kick out of it. But as far as writing, when I'm in the studio, songs really are at their best, are like little movies for the ears. I'm in charge, and I'm producing them and casting them and directing them, and so it's much more interesting to be able to be responsible for the whole thing instead of just your little bit.
Well, do you feel like you're growing as an actor? Because you've got another film coming out this summer, right?
Yeah, I have a small part in this picture called Mystery Men, which is a superhero movie. William Macy and Ben Stiller, Eddie Izzard, lots of people, Janine Garofalo, Paul Rubens. So it's it's one of those superheroes, the guys that make their own costumes and argue with their wives and never get the girl and complain a lot. They all complain a lot about their position, and then when they get a chance in the movie to save the day and all. It's pretty wild. But I play a weapons designer. I'm not a superhero, but I do have a key role in that sense.
But you didn't tell me. Do you feel like you're getting better as an actor?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I like doing a small bit, less pressure, but I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it.
You've not only acted in films, but you've done music for films. Dead Man Walking recently, going all the way back to One from the Heart, and there were some theatrical productions you were involved with. One was Frank's Wild Years, which I think that was done in Chicago. Why didn't you ever take that on the road to other cities?
Too much work. Too much trouble. A play is a lot of work. So, we did it, and it ran, and people came and saw it, and everyone seemed to love it, and had fun doing it, and that was it. Moved on. It was good to be in Chicago. I got a lot of friends in Chicago. We did it at Steppenwolf Theater. They're all amazing people and great actors. You got to really be devoted to a play in order to get on it and stay on it and then ride it all over the country. So I don't know if we really had that level of commitment.
Well, what about your level of commitment to playing some live concerts after the release of Mule Variations?
We'll do some dates somewhere. I'm not sure where or how many. Buenos Aires for one night in that small little place. It only seats 3. Now we're going to play some places, probably the big cities. Touring is hard. There are a lot of variables, and I've been doing it a long time, and so I don't know. We'll probably go to Portugal and Kansas and Tampa, and then come home. No, I'm not promising anything. Some of these places we'll go to, and some of these places we won't.
If you were to play a concert, would you consider any of your material open game, or would you just be concentrating on the later stuff?
I don't know. I get requests for things from the early records, and I do a smattering of that. It's hard. Pretty much you got to do whatever you feel like doing. I'm not a jukebox, so I play whatever I feel. And different bands are suited for different material, and try to find a group that can accommodate a lot of different styles.
It seems like one of the moods you're in lately, at least after listening to Mule Variations, is a very personal mood. There's a lot of direct songs here, even some sentimental tearjerkers, if you'll give me that. Tell me about one, Picture in a Frame.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a song to Kathleen, and yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's a love song. So there.
The sun come up, it was blue and gold. The sun come up, it was blue and gold. The sun come up, it was blue and gold. Ever since I put your picture in a frame, I come calling in my Sunday best. I come calling in my Sunday best. I come calling in my Sunday best. Ever since I put your picture in a frame, I'm gonna love you till the wheels come off. Oh, yeah. I love you, baby, and I always will. I love you, baby, and I always will. I love you, baby, and I always will. Ever since I put your picture in a frame, I love you, baby, and I always will. Ever since I put your picture in a frame, ever since I put your picture in a frame, ever since I put your picture in a frame.
So much of the new album, Mule Variations, this is a bluesier record than some of your later stuff. Or is there a reason for that?
Well, I don't know where it all came from. Maybe I'm kind of re-examining my whole folk roots, my roots as far as music. Perhaps diverse sometimes. Sometimes you try to find a way to reconcile the diversity of your influences, and So you listen to Elmer Bernstein and you listen to Skip James, and you like them both, and you'll never see them on the bill together. But they can be on the bill together in you, right? In some way, in some form or another, or on your record, you can have elements of those styles. And it's really my wife that started helping me see that you can find the place where Leadbelly and Schoenberg overlap, or Cry and Sam Collins and Beefheart, intersect with Monk or Miles or
The Mule Variations. 1 minute it's really primal with the blues thing going on, and the next minute you're kind of in outer space. I was thinking that was kind of where Dylan was at on his record, Time Out of Mind. What did you make of the last Dylan record?
Oh, I love that record, yeah. That was a great record. Great sound, too. Yeah, very intimate. And I love all his records, really.
Are there any current musicians that you like to listen to?
Oh, yeah. Well, I like Guy Clark a lot. I've known him for a long time. And I like Lucinda Williams. I like her a lot. Met her at some point back a couple of months ago. She came through and she was playing on bill with Dylan and Van Morrison. Got to chat with her a little bit. That was very pleasant. And loved her record. Sparkle Horse, those guys. And like all that stuff. And who else? Tricky, I like Tricky a lot. And Portishead. Eddie Izzard. Yeah, this band called the Mean Old Man Next Door. They got that record out called Tijuana Moon. That one. That's a good one.
So you just rattled off a pretty eclectic mix of artists there, and a pretty eclectic mix of artists have done your songs: Springsteen, Rod Stewart, the Eagles, Marianne Faithfull.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a cover of one of your songs please you?
You have to kind of bury it and then dig it up later, because when you first hear it, it doesn't sound right. But it's a good thing. People do other people's songs. It's just you get, and then when I do somebody else's song, I'll kick a hole in it. Because you just do, because you're doing somebody else's song and you're gonna bend it around to fit you, so it feels right for you. You'll break the arm so it'll fit into the coffin. You're just going to do that. That's what everybody does. So I'll do it, but a lot of them I do like, and some of them I go, oh man, they missed the mark on that. But all in all, it's still very flattering if someone does your song. I liked the Ramones doing that. I Don't Want to Grow Up. I liked Jeffrey Lee Pierce did Pasties in a G String, and there's a couple, but all of them. Johnny Cash did a song of mine, which was a big thrill. I said, okay, I can quit now. I'm all done. On that last record of his, the one he did with Rick Rubin.
Like Leonard Cohen, Tom, you were born with the gift of a golden voice. What's the most interesting way anyone ever described your voice?
Oh, geez, yeah. I don't know. I'm the gravelly voiced singer. Invariably, that's how I'm referred to. And so I don't know. There have been lots of descriptions of it. Gargling with various cleaning products, that type of thing. They're trying to be funny. I'm okay with that.
Do you ever surf the internet?
I've never been in the water.
Well, you've got some obsessive fans who keep up some pretty intense websites, and I know they have a festival devoted to your work in New York every year. How do you deal with such fanaticism when you meet these people?
I don't meet these people. I get letters from people. I get a letter from a guy in Michigan. Yeah, he's like 9. He brought one of my records to school, and he got in big trouble, and he wanted me to come out there and defend him. he wanted me to fly out there and go to school with him, talk to his teacher. And I said, well, I just can't do that. I'm busy here with other things. And another guy, this fellow wrote and said that him and his wife ran a motel out in Wichita, and then they sold it, but they wanted me to go buy the old motel that he used to own and say hello to the new owners. But I didn't know this guy, and the connection was just too vague. And he said he had a double bypass surgery and everything, and people tell you things in these letters that they probably shouldn't, but because I'm a stranger, maybe it's easier. It's like talking to a bartender, probably.
So Mule Variations, it's finished, it's coming out. You release it. It's out of your hands. What do you expect to happen with the music after that?
I don't know. Sylvia Miles said, people will come and go, but theatrical memorabilia will never let you down as long as you keep it in clear plastic. And that's always stayed with me. I don't know what that means, but I always love that.
Damn, smoked Jimmy the Harper with a hard little pistol and a lariat. She going to the bottom and she going down the drain. Said she wasn't big enough to carry it. She got to get behind the mule, yeah. In the morning and plow, yeah. Got to get behind the mule. In the morning and plow. You got to get behind the mule. Morning and plow, keep behind the mule. In the morning and plow, chopping and chops with the axe in the woods. You got to meet me by the fall down tree. A shovel of dirt upon a coffin lid, and I know they come a looking for me, boys. I know they come a looking for me. Got to get behind the mule, yeah. Morning and plow, and keep behind the mule. In the morning and plow, get behind the mule. In the morning and plow, get behind the mule. In the morning and plow. Well, Big Jack girl was 8'1", and he stood in the road and he cried. Couldn't make her love him, I couldn't make her stay. Tell the good Lord that he tried. Got to get behind the mule, yeah. In the morning and plow, get behind the mule. In the morning and plow, yeah. You got to get behind the mule. In the morning and plow, you got to get behind the mule. In the morning and dusty trail from Atchison to Placerville on the wreck of the Weaverville stage. Beautified painted for a lemonade. I was stirring my brandy with a nail, boys. Stirring my brandy with a nail. Got to get behind the mule. In the morning and plow. Get behind the mule. In the morning and plow. You got to get behind the mule. In the morning and plow, yeah. Get behind the mule. In the morning and plow. and the pockmarked kid. They had to stand naked at the bottom of the cross and tell the good Lord what they did. Tell the good Lord what they did. You got to get behind the mule, yeah, in the morning and plow. Get behind the mule, yeah, in the morning and plow. You got to get behind the mule, in the morning and plow. Get behind the mule, in the morning and plow. Punctuated birds on the power line in the Studebaker with Birdie Joe a hoax. I'm digging all the way to China with a silver spoon while the hangman fumbles with the noose. The hangman fumbles with the noose. You got to get behind the mule in the morning and plow. Get behind the mule in the morning and plow. You got to get behind the mule in the morning and plow. Get behind the mule in the morning and plow. Pin your ear to the wisdom post. Pin your eye to the line. Never let the weeds get higher than the garden. Always keep a sapphire